If I'm really honest, I find this such a deeply frustrating area of women still lagging behind. We form 50% of the population, we all know this. And I find the question still having to be asked it's depressing and it's frustrating.
Gender parity is really important to me. It's something I've always felt really passionate about.
Raising awareness is extremely important when we talk about gender parity, because oftentimes we reduce it to a theoretical discussion about what gender parity means or what gender bias means, and in those situations it's easy to say that it's not me, it's someone else who's doing that.
Business organisations of all type, not-for-profit organisations, can't find enough people. So we're kind of holding ourselves back by not enabling both sides of the population.
Women have so much to offer and quite often get overlooked because of lack of confidence, or they're not prepared to put themselves forward. So we really need to change the mindset, and women need to sort of strive and put themselves forward and really push for promotions, for pay rises.
One interesting thing I noticed, the men were so good at managing their careers. They did it really well. They would pick up the phone from whichever country and tell me, look, I'm ready for a new change, I'm ready for a promotion. And I noticed that none of the women called. And it wasn't that the women weren't capable, and it's not that they weren't ready, that was not their style.
So my advice for women in the workplace is to make sure that you have a sponsor within your work environment. That could be in the shape of your manager, or it can be someone else who is in a position to advocate for you.
From a boardroom perspective, I think it's a matter of boards opening up their minds, making positions available if women are capable enough to be able to do it. I also think what is really, really necessary is transparency. So I don't believe in quotas. I believe people have to be good enough for the job. But I believe if companies are forced to report their figures and their numbers, that will force companies to apply maybe more training or more support, or encourage women to put themselves forward.
I get asked by the women for a lot of advice, so I try and narrow it down to what's really relevant to them at their particular stage. Often it comes down to the question of, how do I get myself noticed? And so I talk to them about, gauging when they're ready. What are they ready for? Because the business offers so much variety, you've got to actually think of all the options that you could be applying for, and not just perhaps the most obvious one. And then lastly, put yourself in the shoes of the leader. What's the most helpful thing to the leader? Be very clear in what you're suggesting.
When I conduct a meeting, I'm looking to make sure we have a level playing field for everybody is in the meeting. And that doesn't mean I only promote women in the meeting. It's to make sure everyone gets a fair chance, an equal voice, their opinions are heard and respected.
It's so important to be doing it right from the start of your career, thinking about it and treating people fairly and equally. That's really what, for me, it's all about.